Everyone give a warm welcome, coming fresh from one of Massmouth's workshops, Nabil.
Thank you so much. Can we raise this microphone? Is it possible to raise it? Yeah? There we go. I know. When I was growing up as a teenager, my father warned me about fatal attraction. And I didn't know what that meant. And the years passed, and I went to college, and then I went to work. I ended up moving to DC. And I got my first job. I was a consultant. I wore a tie every day to school. I found a girl. And not just any girl. I mean, this girl blew my wildest expectations of what I thought beauty and intellect could be. She exceeded the girl in my dreams, and yet was my reality. I held her as my own. And we got to know each other, and we went on a couple of dates, and got to know each other better, and our tense moments softened, became more casual, and we became comfortable with each other. Now, when I feel comfortable with somebody, I like to go on adventures with them, because I'm an adventurous spirit. And so a few weeks earlier, one of my colleagues at work had taught me how to shoot a gun. And I thought, what better date with my newfound girlfriend than an afternoon at the gun range? And so I asked her, and because this girl had all of the graces that one would want, including also a spirit of adventure, she came with me. And so we got into my car and we drove to the Gilbert Small Arms Range, across from a military base in Northern Virginia. And we went in and showed our IDs, and for $10 you could rent any gun you would want, from a tiny target pistol to a 45mm Glock, which is standard issue for police officers who mean business. And so I took her inside the gun range, which looks kind of like a bowling alley. And I stood next to her, and I watched her handle the weapon, and I was extra careful with her, and I said, baby, if something happens, if the gun jams up, just put it down range, so that way nobody will get hurt. And she looked at me, and she understood, and she nodded. Now, what I didn't tell you is, as beautiful as this girl was, she was also pretty mysterious. And as much as my moments with her seemed comfortable and won, there was something about her that I didn't fully understand, including why she was with me. And so as I watched her wrap her hands around the butt of this gun and fire 4 bullets directly into the center of the target, I looked at her and I wondered, how well do I really know this girl? And as she kept popping them off and firing right into the targets, suddenly something happened. Something that scared me a little bit. The gun went from being downrange to being pointed slightly towards me, to being pointed even closer, to suddenly releasing bullets only feet from my feet, in complete violation of the terms under which we were able to possess these weapons at the club. And suddenly I saw her face, and she was crying, and there were tears going down her eyes, and her hand was trembling with a gun pointed in my direction. It turns out that she wasn't trying to kill me. Instead, what had happened is a casing had popped off of the gun, and usually these casings just go in different directions, but this one had a special message for her and ended up entering her bra and getting stuck between her bra and her skin. And this girl had never held a gun before and suddenly thought that she had shot herself, and in a fit of complete confusion pointed the rifle towards me while releasing a few rounds. Needless to say, when I was growing up, My father warned me of fatal attraction. And that summer I understood what he meant.